My name is Dr. Burt Prater, and I live in Bluffton, South Carolina. We came from the North Georgia mountains where we built a home there at 3,000 feet elevation. There were no problems with crawl spaces, obviously, and everyone had a basement. We came here from 3,000 feet to 9 feet, and we were sitting on groundwater. We didn't know the problems with that at the time because we had never experienced it. Interestingly, the original inspector who was selected by the realtor said, "Oh, I checked some of the wood and the moisture was a little high, but it's not bad." It was nothing like what it truly was. Eventually what happened is I myself began to suspect something was happening when I noticed that the kitchen was beginning to sink. I went outside and I pulled one of the vents off and crawled as best I could under there to look at it and was stunned. That's what I saw. Good grief. This is the extent of the water levels under the house. When I pulled the alarm, it was essentially about 2 to 3 inches all the way under the house, everywhere. We were sitting on top of a swimming pool. And obviously the water vapor pressure had to be close to 100% because we were sitting on water. The primary risk is losing the support that exists under your floor. We discovered joists that were rotting and some loss of support in the kitchen area. And also, it could eventually affect the subfloor, which would be extremely expensive and would basically require us to move out. Low Country came in after the engineering group from Charleston had replaced 60 joists. I received this folder in the mail, which I thought was extremely informative, particularly the insert crawl space science. This was the most informative booklet. What actually is under there? Why is it an issue? Why is it important? That's very, very critical. I met with several representatives from Low Country. My primary contact there has been Christy, who's been extremely responsive and helpful. They had good suggestions. They drew up some diagrams. We talked about it. We talked about the costs. Low Country gave me one overall recommendation as to how to solve this issue, encapsulating the crawl space and discharging all the water, the groundwater that would be arising from under the house. They put together an entrance under the house which allowed them to move equipment like a large dehumidifier in and out. They then covered the dirt with a type of component, then covered the entire crawl space in white plastic and added the 2 underground pumps and a dehumidifier which discharged into the underground pumps, and that has kept the crawl space dehumidified for 5 or 6 years now. My wife has a better sense of smell than I do, and she says that there was some musty odor before they cleaned it out and encapsulated it. It's just been solid. We haven't had any movement. We haven't had any additional smells or anything of the sort. It's easy for me to say, being a physician, it actually looks like an operating room under there. The regular maintenance, it's critical. Routine for maintenance is every year. I requested every 6 months, and I think that was a good idea, simply because there's equipment under there, pumps and dehumidifiers, that would be comforting to know that they were functioning properly and not wait until one or more of them broke down or stopped functioning and found out 2 or 3 months later. I have been extremely satisfied with the service that I've received from Low Country, not just the service people, but the actual installations, the encapsulation, the follow-ups, monitoring, all of those things, because I had such an incredibly positive experience with Low Country. I can't imagine that you would not be treated the same way.